Alright, welcome to another Megiddo Gaming video. We're going to be doing part 4 on Boons, and I actually just finished this video and it was 14 minutes long, and so we're going to be doing something a bit differently with this. But to get you started, guild Stronghold Boons, get a rank 20 guild, go with power, go with HP, ditch the lifesteal. Now let's get into it. And right now I'm going to go over with you the other Boons really quickly by telling you a level of importance. So starting from the top, this is most important, working our way down. We want to go with Armor Pen and Resistance Ignored. We want Power, then Critical Chance. HP, Recovery, Lifesteal Chance, Incoming Healing, and then what usually happens around the 4th boon, anything that deals damage. So if it says you gain this much life for striking an enemy, and then the other option is you could deal up to 20,000 more damage. We want to choose the more damage option. And then of course we want to stay away from anything that's regen, lifesteal severity, although there is one lifesteal severity in here we have to choose because it doesn't fall in line with what I just said. So those are for usually your first 4 boons. We're going to knock that out of the way really easy, because a lot of that's also situational based on the gear you have available to you. And if you have what we've discussed in the previous segments of this build, then you'll want to still follow the guide of power first, then crit, because we should be, like me, currently have 100% crit chance if you're following the guide completely. So let's move on to the final boon in each category. Now, seeing as this build is mostly based on you running into a group, a lot of the things like we had in our support class are not going to be the same. Whereas before, when we had our high deflect and we deflected attack, we wanted to deal more damage with Faith Thistle. We're going with Elvish Fury. When you kill a foe, you're going to gain additional power that can stack up. Of course, if you're just going against a boss, this isn't going to be beneficial, but that's a lot of how these final boons work out, is about maybe half of them are situational. Now from the Dread Ring, we get Rampaging Madness. This is almost like our Tensor's transformation, a little watered down, but we get that just for attacking. So once you hit 50 stacks, you get a bonus into several of your stats for 10 seconds, then the stacks reset and you have to build up again. Since we deal damage very quickly, this is not hard to keep up consistently. There's very little downtime with this ability, especially if you're striking multiple enemies at once. Alright, in this one, this is really why I want to focus on the final boons. Here in Icewind Dale, we are not choosing one that deals additional damage. Our final boon is Winter's Bounty. This is going to help increase our AP gain, which I guess in turn does help us get our increase in DPS, but you want to stay away from the one that gives you the stacks of Avalanche. The AP gain is going to be way more beneficial here. Abyssal Strikes is going to be our best choice in this one. The final boons, a lot of them are really just geared towards, being in the Underdark campaign. Whereas the 10% increased damage to demonic creatures is actually going to help us even when we're, facing Orcus and Tomb of the Nine Gods, things like that. So that's definitely going to be your best choice. Alright, in this one we're going to want to choose Dragon's Fury and put all 3 points in there to increase our critical severity. Since we won't be using critical severity companions, or to give you a little insight into one of our future videos, we're not going to be using a Vorpal. That's going to be our best option. Now I know in this one, a lot of people would choose Bahamut's Might for the increase of critical chance, but we don't want to have a chance to have an increase of critical chance if we're already wanting to focus on getting 90 to 100% crit chance anyways. So I think the better option in this one is actually going to be focusing on your control strength. In those odd times that you are going to end up doing PvP, or you've got the control rings from Chult, or anything like that where you're going to stun or daze someone and you want to increase that duration, that's going to be our best option in this one. Now, since recovery seems to have less of a diminishing return, On this one, we're going to be focusing on, of course, the one that's going to give us HP, but it's also going to end up giving us some recovery as well with Wall of Wind. Now, I just wanted to take a moment and explain. A lot of these say you have a chance. Now, the chance roll is usually about 25%, is what chance actually means. So you have a 25% chance of gaining extra recovery or gaining lifesteal, whatever the situation may be. If it says a chance in this game, it's safe to assume it's about 25%. Yes, I know I don't have Storm King's Thunder completed. Leave it alone. Just make sure you go with all 3 points in Chill of Winter. That one, unlike others, is only 10 stacks that you have to achieve before it releasing the damage. So definitely go with that one. Now, the Cloaked Ascendancy and the Jungles of Chult boons are kind of odd ducks. So I'll kind of break down these ones. We want the chance to stun enemies with this one with Demoralize, and then really still we can follow the same traits of focusing on critical strike severity as well as focusing on recovery in these other two. The other option at the top to choose aberrant creature damage, yes, it's situational for if you're in the Cloaked Ascendancy, but it still will give you some damage increase against other creatures in other zones, so it's not too bad. Alright, on this one we want to focus on Tyrant's Terror for the extra power. As you unlock more boon choices for 13B, you'll actually want to put it into the final one of Fight Not Flight for the additional hit points. Now on the top part, you're going to want to either put everything into Soul Siphon, or when you get the second unlock, maybe put it into Lingering Curse. I can throw out an update video once I've tested that out, but I may just stick with Soul Siphon. And that's it. So please let me know in the comment section below if you want the more detailed version released. I have no problem doing that for you. I hope you saw one of my last videos, Chapter 0, on the best race for the Trickster Rogue, because that's got our ability roll stats in there, and that's going to start tying into what we're doing next, which we're going to be going over our gear choices. So please stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Click the left to see the previous video, click to the right to see another video, and down at the bottom to subscribe. And to stay up to date with what's going on with the channel, follow on Facebook and Twitter.